Today, every day, small cap investors visit AGORACOM knowing this is the day to discover the world's next great company, to have their dreams come true. That's why I take to the open road, to find them, to tell their stories, to engage them, to bring them to life, because they want to connect with you from your office, your phone, your home, anywhere. AGORACOM, find your dream. Welcome to Beyond the Press Release, a production of AGORACOM, in which we take the time to sit down with small cap executives and talk about important news that they put out. With us today, for the first time, Carl Sailing, CEO of Hollister Biosciences, trades on the CSE under the stock symbol HOLL. For our friends in Europe on the Frankfurt Exchange under HOB, and for our friends in the US on the OTC under HSTRF. For those of you new to the story, that's going to be a lot of you because we just brought on Hollister, and they're a pretty new company as well. The company basically is a vertically integrated cannabis company, multiple high-quality products already carried in 220 of California's 600 dispensaries, including California's #1 hash-infused pre-roll. That's their Hashbone brand. So they're doing fantastic things. But if that wasn't enough, last week they also announced an LOI to acquire Venom extracts for $20 million. Venom's come to the table with about $16.5 million in revenue and about $2.5 million in EBITDA for 2019. So that's fantastic. Our other guest today, our guest of honor, Adam Smith. He's a Green Beret with nearly 17 years in service. He's got firsthand experience of how CBD can help retired and active duty military and law enforcement get through their physical illnesses, get through mental issues, especially those who suffer from PTSD and TBI, traumatic brain injury, for those of you who don't know that. He's the founder of Tactical Relief. They create, promote, sell highest quality and most patriotic, that's the company says that, CBD oils in the country. Together, they announced back in the beginning of February a joint venture to produce some products together. Here to talk about is the guys. Gents, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Adam, going to start with you. Before I go even into questions, even though I'm Canadian, I'm going to say thank you for your service. I'm sure whatever you've done around the world in your time has benefited me, and I deeply respect and appreciate that. Let's talk about Tactical Relief. It's obviously a fantastic organization that's doing some pretty great things, and you're helping them out with the health and wellness. Tell them about what you guys are achieving over there.
Well, I'll tell you this. It's the most patriotic hemp product in the country, and soon to be the most patriotic cannabis and CBD infused product in the country, because ultimately it's damn patriotic hemp. And that's where we're at right now. But to tell a better story, I just want to share a video, because this video really sort of sums up the whole mission statement of what Tactical Relief and everybody involved with this project really does, and the mission behind what we're doing.
All right, let's watch it.
All the battles fought, and this is where I find myself. In a basement. Worthless. Nothing to offer. I have nothing to live for. I can't seem to win at anything. Everything around me just reminds me of the life I don't get to live anymore. And so I drink. I drink away the pain. I drink to distract myself. And I write my note. I write my note of the pain I feel. I write the note to say I'm sorry. But most importantly, I write the note to say thank you. And that I love you. Just know that what happens next is not your fault. Just know that I've tried and tried over and over again to live. I'm exhausted. I'm angry. just can't keep doing this. I love you, but this is it. This is the end. I'm done.
The time is now. No more choosing to close your eyes. No more choosing to hide from the pain and frustrations that you have in your life. You have a choice to live. You made it home. You have a chance to stand up and do something different with your life. Remember what it was to fight for something. Remember what it was to choose to be better every day. We're not here to play any games. We fought and trained to come home, and now we are. It is time to choose. It is time to open your eyes and see the truth. Stop running away and start running towards. And today, you get a chance to choose. Choose to live your legend. Choose to become your own hero. Still gives me goosebumps.
Oh, that's so powerful. If that doesn't answer everybody's question as to why, then I don't know what else will.
Yeah, Adam, clearly, you are, and that's your story, right? You're not portraying the story of, I mean, you actually are portraying the story of your colleagues and all your guys, but that's actually your story there as well. So
that's exactly right. That is 100% my story. I found myself sitting on a couch as I decided to start to get out of the military. I was sitting on a couch in January 2016, and I had no hope. I had no definition. I had no mission. I had no purpose. I didn't realize that I could choose to define myself and constantly redefine myself, and it was something that got lost. Because I only defined myself as the job that I did because I loved what I did so much. And in that hopelessness, I drank every ounce of alcohol, put a pistol in my mouth, and decided that I was done. And I was so drunk that I passed out. And
thank God, man.
You and me both, brother.
Yeah.
And from that time to this time, that's what this is about. That's ultimately what this is about. That story is my story, but it's a story of thousands of other veterans and law enforcement personnel that are out there, and first responders that are out there, including EMTs and firefighters, that are going through the same process, the same pain.
So let's talk about how CBD helps, retired and active duty military, law enforcement, first responders, and why that's the basis of this great joint venture between you guys.
I'll give you the Cliff Notes version.
Sure.
In the end of 2015, beginning of 2016, when I started to make my transition, a good friend of mine and I did a bicycle ride across the country in support of another nonprofit called Task Force Stagger Foundation. And we did it. We rode 5,000 miles on bicycles across the country in 3 months in order to raise money and awareness for post-traumatic stress. My buddy was medically discharged because of an epileptic seizure that he had on target in Afghanistan. And he started self-medicating with cannabis products because all the meds that he was taking was turning him to a zombie. And I was having a really hard time. So we shared this journey with one another. And I was telling him, I can't sleep. I'm having nightmares. I'm anxious all the time. I'm super uncomfortable. And the first time I ever tried cannabis was in Washington State. And it changed my entire perspective on everything. Here, my entire life, I'd never used cannabis in any way. I'd never used any hemp products in any way. And this one time in Washington, when I did it, instantaneously everything changed. I slept better. I had less anxiety. I had better focus. I was less worried and concerned. My stress was lower. All of these benefits that came from it. Then hemp came. And the federal farm bill that got passed legalized hemp across the board, which means that we can get a lot of the same benefits that we get from cannabis products from hemp products, including a very small amount of THC. And the benefit behind all of it is that it directly interacts with what's called, here's some science. I'm going to drop some science on you for those of you guys who might not know how this stuff works.
Drop it.
So it interacts with something called the endocannabinoid system inside of your body. And you have a CB1 and CB2 receptor system inside of your body that interacts with your nervous system. It also supports healthy gut. It also supports healthy nervous system. It also supports less anxiety. I mean, all of these things interact with one another. And so the compounds that they have found inside of the cannabis plant, which hemp, marijuana, it's all cannabis, right? Ultimately, The compounds that we found have serious impact. CBD, CBN, CBG, and terpenes that interact with the nervous system and the brain tissue at the cellular level that help reconnect the nervous system, the synaptic pathways in the brain. And so the benefit behind this is that it's a way for you to holistically treat depression, anxiety, and a laundry list of other issues that comes from a holistic methodology rather than just taking medication after medication after medication and turning yourself into a walking zombie.
Yeah, I'm glad you told me that, because we don't hear a lot of that connection, right? We hear about the buzz, but you tell them about how the gut and everything. I think that's great education. Everyone understands even better. Carl, this joint venture now, this partnership together, Tactical Relief is going to be responsible for, the seems like the designs and all those kind of things. You guys are going to be on the production side. What are you guys going to be doing together? What are you going to be producing first, and where do you think you're going?
Yeah, so thanks for that. I just have to say that I am tremendously excited and honored, to be working with Adam. Just a little bit of a kind of the reason why I think it's important for everybody to know as well. Hollister, the whole company was built on really helping people. It all kind of started with helping my younger son from Crohn's disease, and then building that into the business that we have today. But my wife is an Army veteran. Her stepfather was a veteran. Her two brothers are veterans.
Wow.
So it's close to home, and it really means so much to us.
So you've seen the good side and the bad, right? You've seen the great side of being a patriot and serving, but you've also seen the bad side of how some people are obviously negatively, even when you survive, you still have some negative effects.
Well, yeah, I mean, you come home from potentially traumatic events and you don't know what to do. The government or the medical, society is filling you with prescription drugs that messes your mind up even more. So being able to offer a completely natural product that's going to impact the lives of the veterans that we need so much. I'm so honored. I'm a little speechless about it. When I start thinking about Adam and his story and his background, I get very emotional. I'm an emotional guy.
You can hear it in your voice, and that's great. That's why these interviews are so powerful. People hear the passion. They see the passion, right? It's not just, Carl and Alex, a bunch of guys who want to be opportunistic and try and cash in on CBD, right? Because that's just not enough for an investor to bank on his management team. That's just not enough. There's got to be a real connection that drives you to wake up, when things are bad, when times are tough. And to hear you say that, Carl, and to hear you relate to Adam, man, you guys, it seems like going to take over the world.
There's something here, Carl. I got to share this as well. It's really important that there are so many companies that are building things, products, brands, whatever it is. And everybody, it's business. Like, let's be real. This is business. Everybody's out to make money.
Of course.
But the crucial thing, and this is the thing that I love the most about Carl, like when we had our first conversation, their opening conversation was not about business. It was not about money making. It was, hey man, why do you do what you do? And the statement that came out from both directions, which was outstanding, was impact. I do this to create impact. This is a vehicle for me to deliver impact in the world. And it's a vehicle for ultimately in this agreement for us to be able to join forces and bring an extremely powerful message, an extremely powerful marketing push, an extremely powerful company, and ultimately joint opportunity to step up and go, look, like there is some stuff going on and we want to create impact inside of that space.
So Adam, give us a sense, especially for investors who are watching at home, give us a sense, how big is your organization today, your membership, and how's it growing? What's your footprint like? I would imagine you're ever from Alaska to Florida, but I could be wrong. But what is the size of your organization like, and what do adoption rates look like from the military and first responders and so on, who maybe would have been, given the fact that it's been a banned substance for so long, right? Yeah. And only now, what's adoption rates like, and what do growth rates and adoption rates look like going forward? I'm not looking for specific. I'm not thinking give me a chart and a graph, but just your overall sense.
In 2014, the U.S. Census put 18.2 million veterans alive in the United States. And in 2014, same census put almost 2 million of those veterans in the state of California. Now, we know because of the war on terror and because of the higher the higher numbers that enlisted into the military between that time and now, and then there was a drop off. We're well over 22 million veterans in the entirety of the United States and well over 2 million veterans in the state of California. Of those numbers, over 85% of veterans believe in the legalization of cannabis products at the federal level as well as the state level. Okay, and that's taking place across the entire United States. So there are major pushes in every state right now, including, I'm calling you from Kentucky, and there's a bill that just passed the Kentucky House that's going to the Senate about legalizing cannabis products for medicinal purposes in the state of Kentucky. That's going through right now. We've seen federal movement. And so of that 85%, the reason why the number is so high is because veterans understand the benefits of the cannabis plant, period. And so adoption rates are huge. I mean, people that want to use the product
I got to tell you, I didn't know what number you're going to give me, but I would have thought you would have said something like 20% and on the rise slowly as everyone kind of wraps their mind around it. Carl, your production is focused in California for now. That's your roost. Hollister, 220 dispensaries out of 600. That's massive. And I'm assuming that number is only going to continue to grow. Your first product is this 20-to-1 ratio of THC to CBD. Talk to us about that product, when you expect to have it ready, and how do you roll it out? If there are a couple million veterans in California alone, then we'll talk about your plans to expand. But how do you get to them together with Adam?
Yeah, great question. So first off, like you said, we're going to be producing a 20-to-1, so 20 CBD to 1 THC. The difference is we're going to be using cannabis. That allows us to dial in the ratios pretty tightly. There's, I would say, a little bit more medical benefits to cannabis than hemp. You know, there's still definitely a lot of medical benefits to hemp, but cannabis it has a lot more of the terpenes, flavonoids, cannabinoids available. You know, so we're going to really dial in the 20-to-1, and we're going to launch in California, hopefully sometime in April. And utilizing our distribution partner, Indus Holdings, which is also public in Canada, you know, they have 14 sales reps, and we would get this into the 14 sales reps' hands and out into the marketplace. We'll be picking select dispensaries in California that will be doing we'll say like a bigger launch, and hopefully we'll have Adam out, and we'll do some in-store marketing and some meet and greets. And there's several veteran-based organizations here in California that we're connected with that we're going to use to drive, you know, veterans to these different dispensaries.
Yeah, now, Adam, that was a question I had for you. Are you starting to build, or do you have access to a database of, you know, veterans in California, and driving them to these launches and into the dispensaries that are going to be carrying the product?
Yeah, I have. So Tactical Relief and myself, I have multiple personal relationships with a lot of different veteran organizations across the country that are actively seeking more information and finding more pieces of contact in order for us to spread the message and let people know that there is this giant movement taking place. One of the organizations is called the Veterans Cannabis Project. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but they're a nationally recognized cannabis rights lobbying nonprofit that's really pushing to help veterans get access to cannabis products. So we have there's a lot of relationships that are coming into play here in order to make this happen.
And you guys have, Carl, a major advantage because of your dispensary relationships through Indus. If this was me trying to do this with a couple of guys, I'd have to rely on Amazon. I don't know, Amazon, e-commerce, social media. Yeah, but you got a beautiful distribution waiting to go. What have you heard from the dispensaries? Are the dispensaries saying, we really want this product because we really think we can service the veteran market? Get it to us? Yeah,
so California is I almost consider it a wide open opportunity. There hasn't been a standout lead in the marketplace for products targeted to veterans. You know, there's a couple great companies out there like Santa Cruz Veterans Alliance. You know, they're doing a great job, but they're really isolated in Santa Cruz. So I think as far as a market opportunity, it's huge because there's a void. And I do want to add, we're not here just to make money. We're also going to take 5% of our net profits and
Right.
donate that to different veterans causes in California to really impact. And then, as you alluded to our Venom Extracts acquisition, that's now going to open the door to Arizona and Nevada for us. So once we get California rolling with the tactical relief products, we're then going to introduce them into Arizona and Nevada.
Adam, what's the brand the product's gonna be going out under? Is it gonna be Tactical Relief, or you mentioned the name earlier? What's gonna be the brand if I see it on the dispensary shelf?
Tactical Relief. You're gonna see the brand Tactical Relief. It's gonna be on the product, and the first product that's coming out is gonna be sick because it speaks directly to the target market that we're going after, and it's called Murdered Out. And it's just going to be this
Murdered Out.
Murdered Out. It's like, hey, look, man, if you've ever seen a murdered out truck, it's all black on black on black. Like, it's absolutely sick. It's going to be spectacular.
I've actually never heard that term, but I love it.
It's going to be awesome.
If you got an example of that branding, we'll throw it on in post and for people to take a look at it. So Jeff, keep it. Who's watching this? Make a note of that, guys. You talk about the first product because it actually says right in the press release, it says our first tincture. So where, Carl, do you think you go after this? We've already heard that geographically you want to move into Arizona and Nevada as a result of your acquisition of Venom, and that's great. Where do you go in terms of next? Do you have a sense of where you might go for the next 1, 2, 3, 4 products? You already have that in mind?
Yeah, so the next iteration would be different ratios of CBD to THC because some people need more THC than CBD. Like me personally, I need a whole hell of a lot of THC comparative to CBD. So, different people with different levels of issues, really require higher levels of THC. So that's definitely going to be our next iteration. Will be probably 3 or 4 different ratios, 4-to-1. 8-to-1, 1-to-1.
And then, Adam, you're a nationwide organization. I'm assuming you're getting there, right? Because you got members. What's your rollout plan in terms of, where Arizona and Nevada are probably a great next step? How important is this partnership to helping you get to all your members? Because I'm assuming you don't want to have 52 different partnerships around the country in every state. So, if you can expand with Hollister into different states, what would that look like over the next 12, 24 months?
Well, the partnership with Hollister turns out to be a strategic powerhouse because if you look at the game of chess, you have a lot of different pieces that are on the board and you're moving them around, but it's all crucial because everything's trying to protect the king. But the most important piece on the game is not the king, it's the queen. And so this partnership with Hollister really turns everything that we're doing into the queen of the chess piece because it gives us an opportunity to not only just move inside of the hemp space, which is what we're doing nationally, but also move inside of the cannabis space into markets that were previously untouched, especially to this market space. So especially reaching out to veterans, first responders, and law enforcement personnel, that this is an opportunity for us to expand and target into an entirely new product offering that was once not available.
So Adam, safe to say that Hollister, through obviously its core operation now, and through Venom when that's hopefully have no reason to believe otherwise, but it's concluded by March 31st that they're essentially going to be your product development and production arm for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, for all cannabis-based products, 100% without a question. Hemp-based products, we're working with a different company for the time being. But when it comes to all, that's only because that's where we started, and now we're moving into cannabis, this cannabis space with Hollister. So, I'm sure there'll be more conversations that we have in the future.
Carl, last word to you as far as the partnership goes. There's no doubt from listening to both of you. There's no doubt in either of your voices. This isn't throwing something up against the wall and hope it sticks. Clearly, the way you guys are talking, this is a case of it's success is coming. It's just a question of degree. That's all it is. How should your shareholders feel about this partnership and what it'll mean to the company in 2020 and into 2025?
Well, I mean, yes, it's going to generate revenue. That's all great, and shareholders should be excited about that. But, really let's look at the human side of it. And it's really the impact. Like, what are we going to impact? Who are we going to impact? Who are we going to save? If we save one person from doing what Adam was going to do, that's worth all of it. What's human life worth? Priceless. So I'm getting chills just thinking about this. So, I mean, it's really about the impact that we're going to make in the marketplace to people. Forget about profits and making money from it. We will, but it's really about that.
Well, anytime you can combine a great business and helping, like Adam said earlier, thousands, tens of thousands, and I would imagine
millions.
Hundreds of thousands going forward over the next 5 years. Man, I got to tell you, that is a fantastic energy to have inside your business, knowing that, I mean, Adam, look at you, right? Discovering CBD and the products help turn you around and turn you into this machine, right? So imagine how many thousands of more, atoms we're going to create as a result of this partnership. So my hat's off to both of you guys for.
George, I got to add to that real quick. I don't want to cut you off. I have to add to this real quick. And that is this, like you say, bring a great business that also creates impact. Let me tell you, great business creates impact, period. It's not bringing a great business into this game, because you can have monster businesses that create a monster amount of profit, and that's spectacular. Good for them, because that's what business is about. But a great business creates great impact, and it creates it in a direction that we want, Carl and I both, that we want to have moral and ethical actions that drive the process of this production of everything that we're doing forward, and delivering the message of like choice. You have a choice to change your life. You have a choice to not kill yourself. You have a choice to not be a number. You have a choice on how you treat yourself. You have a choice to live. You have a choice to define your mission and purpose. You have a choice to change every aspect of whom you think you are in order to achieve greatness in life. That's what this is about. That's what this joint operation that we're doing really comes down to. Profits are awesome. Profits are awesome. But to be able to punch the big red button square in the chest and let somebody know definitively that they have a chance to change their life, that's what this is about.
Yes.
There aren't a lot of companies out there that shareholders get a chance to be really proud of at the end of the day. But Hollister, through this great joint venture, Tactical Relief guys, look, I'm a shareholder and I love this. In fact, I can't wait until, look, it's clear we're gonna be, the three of us are gonna be together doing this multiple times. Hopefully the next one is, when the product rolls out in April, and we're doing a live Zoom from one of the dispensaries. Adam, it'd be great to speak to a couple of veterans, that'll be there, get their perspective. But I wasn't expecting this out of this interview. Adam, I didn't even know that you're going to play that video. I didn't know that until a minute before we got on air. So, unbelievably moving, unbelievably powerful. But then to hear that you guys are combining the passion with products, expansion, all of it, that's an awesome combination. This has been a great experience.
And George, that's the first time that video has been shown publicly.
What's that?
That's the first time that video has been shown publicly.
Really? I would have thought that's okay. And I thought that's
an exclusive.
You guys are.
It's an exclusive, man. Nobody's seen that video before. No one has seen that video outside of the circle.
Well, so you're the very first one to get a chance to say. That's the first time we're going to be able to claim an AGORACOM exclusive. And Adam, you know what? You got my word on it. We're going to make sure we play that video multiple times and use that video multiple times going forward. Not just in this context, but keep repeating it over and over. Carl, congratulations, man. Congratulations on finding such a great partner in Adam. Congratulations on building this great company just on its own with your dispensary distribution, bringing on Venom, and then joint ventures like this with Tactical Relief. You're hitting out of the park. And I don't care what's going on in the markets, what downdrafts and things like that takes place. If I look forward 12, 24, 36 months, success is almost guaranteed here. It's just going to be a case of degree.
I agree.
Thanks, gents. For everyone at home, you've been watching or you've been listening on Spotify, Google Podcasts, audio podcasts, your favorite podcast sites. You've been watching and listening to Carl Sailing, CEO of Hollister Biosciences. The company trades on the CSC under the stock symbol HOLL. For our friends in Europe, on Frankfurt, and I know the Germans love Hollister under HOB, and for our friends in the US on the OTC under HSTRF. And of course, massive thanks to Adam Smith, founder of Tactical Relief, 17-year veteran as a Green Beret. And that's why I didn't interrupt him when he spoke, because sooner or later I'd have to meet him in person, and I don't want to feel the wrath of the U.S. defense. Thanks, Adam. Thanks so much for being here, guys.
Thanks, George.
Thanks, George.
See you next time.